Every data science project has some impact on several individuals in the organization. Depending on the exact use case, the result might be a tool that the employees are expected to use to make their work easier or more efficient, or monotonous tasks might be automated, such that the employees have more time for other tasks, or they can be affected indirectly, for example if they already use an existing tool or affected by an existing process, which is then refined using data science methods. Before we begin with the technical implementation though, we want to ensure that individual needs are taken into account when specifying the selected use case. This is essential to guarantee the support of the individual and has a great influence on the success of the project. For this reason, we designed workshops for internal participants that perfectly meet the requirements of learning the basics of data science and exploring the individual and company-wide benefits, as well as the understanding of preconditions. First of all, we want to specify what effect the implementation of the project would have. For that, we take a closer look at the target groups. If you take indirect effects into account, most projects will have both an internal influence, for example for those in the organization who use it as a tool, as well as an external influence, say for a customer who profits from cheaper products or higher quality. Considering the goals and interests of the stakeholders and to what extent the proposed project helps with them, will then give a better estimation of the overall benefit. The benefit is only one side of the coin though. We obviously have to compare that estimated benefit with the estimated costs. Among others, we delve into the exact skills required for the success of the project, be it technical or subject knowledge or knowledge about the organization, as well as the exact data science skills required. But in order to estimate the costs of the project precisely, we have to go into more detail about what a successful solution actually entails. Even for a use case that one could easily classify as a pure machine learning project, the actual training and application of machine learning models, while at the core of the problem, are only a part of the overall solution. To get a better feeling for what's really required for a complete productive deployment of the project, we try to break it down into building blocks and classify both their importance to the project's success and their complexity. These building blocks can be tasks like the retrieval and preprocessing of the data, the training and application of machine learning models, and a way to actually use or display the results in the end, say in a dashboard. In addition, we can have building blocks that would be nice to have but aren't required for a minimum viable solution. Depending on the proposed project, these can be things like predictions for additional labels, the display of supporting statistics to help with decisions, the integration of additional hard-to-obtain data, and so on. In a sense, this part of the workshop also helps to bridge the gap between the end user and the data scientist. Data scientists can at times be too focused on numbers, such as the prediction performance, whereas the end user might mostly care about the usability and features of the final product. The next step is taking a look at what the aforementioned building blocks depend on. Now in data science, there are always uncertainties involved, and most of the time quite a bit of experimentation is required. In order to put a data science project into neat little building blocks with estimated benefits and complexities, we have to make a few assumptions and bets. At the very least, we have to assume that we have an adequate databases and that we can access and use it. While that assumption might appear like a non-issue at a first glance to some, it is not too uncommon that organizations have collected data for a while, but never actually used at least some parts of their data. As a result, the assumed amount and quality of the data may differ greatly from the actual data. Besides that, there can also just be technical issues retrieving it. All this is aimed at not only having the participants be affected by a data science project, but actually involving them in the establishment process from the very beginning. Therefore, they shouldn't feel negative impacts on their way of working, and they should understand it as just another tool to work with. They should also gain a much better overview and control over the outcome of the project. And it should become clearer at this point that data scientists don't replace them, but are just service providers for the subject experts.